Do you understand that you have the ability to change timelines that you're on based on the actions that you do? Now, when I say that, that sounds super obvious. You go to the gym, you work out, oh, you get fit. You stop eating crap, oh, you lose weight. You run more ads, you send more emails, you talk to more people, you make more money. Wow, I didn't know that. But the thing is, if everyone knows that, why are people so hesitant to skip across timelines? Now, the title of this video is going to be something along the lines of speed up the timeline. And what I mean by speed up the timeline isn't just, hey, let's get a project done faster, or hey, let's see what we can do and hope and pray and manifest. What I mean speed up the timeline is there are things that you could be doing right now that would physically move the needle in a direction that you want, where you live a better life. Everyone knows this, but no one does it. I've talked to, in my career, at this point, hundreds of business owners. And I can tell you the ones that win are the ones who are always doing something. What do I mean by doing something? It's making calls, it's talking on the phone, it's recording content, it's something. And the ones that I see that can't break over 7 figures, or at that point, frankly, over 6 figures, are the ones that don't do anything. As some of you know, I've lost about 30 pounds in the past 3 months. I've lost about 10 pounds a month. Started at 188 and now it's 155. I sped up the timeline. I looked in the mirror and I said, I don't want to look like this anymore. Now I wasn't like fat, but I was getting there, and I thought to myself, this is really dumb. What can I do instead to speed up the timeline? All right, I'll go to the gym and I'll stop eating shit. Done. In business, you have a few opportunities to do this in different ways. I think back only 6 months ago, it's already been half of a year since I moved to Dubai. It has been half of a year since I made this leap. And in a lot of ways, I'm really happy with the success that we've had. But in a lot of other ways, I look back on this time and I think to myself, I could have been running ads sooner. I could have been calling people sooner. I could have been making bigger waves, making bigger impacts, recording more content faster. There's so many things I could have been doing to speed up the timeline that I want to be on. So for me, this is a few things. This is personal and this is professional in the business. Personally, I wanted to look really good, which is halfway there. Professionally, there are things that we knew that we needed to do to move the needle. And that was maintain our clients, make sure they get excellent results, and spend on ads and record content. There's something in the universe called Pareto's principle, where it's that 20% of your actions are gonna get you about 80% of the results that you want. This is found in nature, it's found in business, it's found in relationships, it's found everywhere. And so the thing that I changed, that I thought to myself is, what are the 20% of things that I'm doing right now which could contribute to 80% more value? And I came up with 2 things. It's content, so people find me organically and I can share something to some of you, to one of you, and it's through ads. That way we can actually get a repeatable business model going in a way which isn't solely relied on referrals. And I think to myself, if I really took this seriously when I first got to the city, we would have a 7-figure agency by now. We would have a 7-figure agency. It would not even be close. Like we would have that. Because our retention is great. You would have that. So if you're a business owner or you're someone making money online, the question you ask yourself is, what are the 20% of things that I'm doing right now that are gonna speed up the timeline and get me 80% of the results? And I'm gonna be riffing in this video, by the way. So if I go off topic a little bit and come back, then you'll understand why. There's this fable called One Must Imagine Sisyphus Happy. And what it is Sisyphus has been cursed by the gods to carry a boulder up a mountain. And the mountain never ends. So he's always carrying this boulder up a mountain. And so there's this philosopher called Albert Camus who said, actually, you gotta think about Sisyphus as being happy. It's happy. He loves pushing that boulder up a mountain because there's nothing else to do. Because it gives him some sort of purpose. And I think that analogy is one of the best analogies for running and operating a business. Because you're dealt with bullshit every single fucking day. It never really ends. But at the same time, if you're making progress with it, if you're doing something, you actually are the happiest. I've had days where I do nothing but either just sit outside and smoke cigarettes or travel. And those are the most depressing days I have ever had in my life. I've also had days where I work 18 hours a day. And the funny thing is, you would think the days where you do nothing are the days where you're happiest. But if you have that gene in you, you know that that's not true, is it? It's gotten to the point now where I get paranoid if I don't check my email at least once an hour when I'm awake, which is not normal. You should not have to live with that. But if you run a business and you have some ambition, you know that's what's gonna happen. Really what I wanna drive home in this video is that you probably know what you need to do already to make more money and to scale in a business. The question is, what are the 20% of things you can do to speed up the timeline? What can you do faster? What can you do now to get things going? Speed wins. You have to speed up the timeline. Because even though we are like Sisyphus, even though we will never hit the peak of this mountain, what we can at least do is give it a shot. Because you know what? There's actually nothing else to do.